Hi frugal friends, welcome back to Is Fire for Me. I'm Kim and I'm here with your daily dose of frugality. Today we are on number 27 in the book 365 Ways to Live Cheap by Trent Ham. Number 27 is to invest in a deep freezer. If you have space in your kitchen, garage, or basement, invest in a deep freezer. A deep freezer allows you to buy your food in bulk, saving significant amounts of money. For example, by contacting a meat locker directly, you can purchase meat in large quantities directly from the provider, filling up your freezer with meat discounted at 30% or more compared to what you'd pay at the meat counter at the grocery store. See a great deal at the store? You can stock up big time, putting the excess in the freezer for later use. The use of a deep freezer can save approximately 15% on your annual food bill without a major increase in your energy use. We have had a deep freezer and we've also had an upright freezer, and I actually prefer the upright freezer because it's easier to see what you have. A lot of times with deep freezers, even if you use the little shelves and drawers that they give you, it's really easy to kind of lose track of what's at the bottom of the deep freezer. I do think that having an external freezer, whether that be maybe a fridge freezer unit that you have out in the garage or just a freezer that you have out in the garage, can save you quite a bit of money. Although we don't have meat products in our house, I do use this a lot when I stock up on things that are on sale at the grocery store. Or right now, you can get local berries in season here in the Pacific Northwest, and you can freeze those. We have quite a few raspberries over at one of our rental properties, and I've asked the renters if it's okay for me to come pick them from time to time. They're producing way more than any one person can consume, and so I pick some for me and some for them. And the ones that I pick for us, we eat some of them while they're fresh and ripe and juicy, but I also freeze them for later use in smoothies or desserts. I tend to have a smoothie most every morning. I put a lot of greens in it, which is like the only way that I can find vegetables tolerable because they don't always taste good, although I do like an occasional salad and I do like roasted veggies. But if I want to try and get more kale or mustard greens or spinach in, I put a lot of that in my smoothie and then I top it with some banana and then some frozen fruit. And the frozen fruit is often fruit that I've collected in season. So around here we have a lot of natural blackberries. We have blueberry bushes here at the house we live in now. We have the raspberries at our old place. And then you can also buy fruit locally from farmers markets. A lot of times it's cheaper if you buy like a huge amount of it and then preserve some of it. And one way of preserving it is by freezing it. A little note about berries: if you do have an external freezer with some extra space, if you put them in there single layer on a cookie sheet, or you can use some other flat surface with wax paper or something, they'll freeze independently of one another and not in like a big clump. And then you take them once they're frozen and you put them into a freezer bag and then you pop them in the freezer. And so then you can pull out, a handful of 8 berries rather than having this giant clump of berries that you have to like break off parts of for use in your smoothie. So that's just one tip that I use when I'm picking and preserving and freezing the berries that are in season. So I definitely think if you have some extra money and some extra space, investing in either a chest deep freezer or a more stand-up upright freezer is a great option if you want to be able to buy things when they're cheap or in season and be able to preserve them more long term. All right, I will see you back here tomorrow for another daily dose of frugality. Thanks for tuning in.